What's going on, guys? It's all in day 40 or 49, yeah. Let's go over today what I had seen. So today we had this higher time from S&T on the 4 hour, and you can see on the 4 hour here, NQ is leading that one. And then there was also a lower time from S&T at these 5-minute highs right here. Then this is the SMT. Right. So once I saw that, I saw NQ sweep that 5-minute high. I wanted to take shorts on ES just because the 5-minute SMT was going to play on an ES. So I was targeting these London lows. I was targeting this London low here. No. Sorry. Here. That low. These are old. So I was targeting London low right here. And we saw S&T. We had seen price respecting this 1 hour gap here, moving lower, breaking structure on the higher time frame. And so on ES, so we have the 1 hour fair value gap here. See, it respects. And then on here, we had a equilibrium tap. So I was willing to take a trade off that right here. This candle came down. So this retracement, this 1 minute retracement, it was on the 5 minute, but it's probably a 1 minute retracement. Came down, came near the equilibrium. And so once I saw price break structure on ES, I probably, now that I see it, there was an inverse right here that I didn't take. Probably would have been a lot better, but we waited for the break structure, got the break structure, and a bit of a negative RR, but I wasn't willing to trade to this low here. Excuse me. All right. Anyways, I wasn't willing to trade this low here because I wasn't too, strong on my draw liquidity today. I just knew where price wanted to go, and if price did want to reverse off London low, I was willing to just take my profit there. So I took profit there. Right. So we enter on the 1 minute. Break a structure. My stops were above here. Take profit down here. And this right here was really stressing me out. It was just a roller coaster of emotions today for sure. Just a crazy day. But price ended up coming and running all the way down, even taking out my second take profit, running down even further. But, I'm just glad I took my piece of the pie today. I wasn't trying to be greedy. I just wanted to, honestly, after I saw this, I was like, just get me out. So I had my take profit here. I had it originally here and then I moved it up and I was like, you know what? Let me just take profit right here. I don't care to make more money so and so, but I did follow my rules. I entered a pawn which I believed in, and I had a setup that was high probability within the higher time frame downtrend, within all my confluences hits. We had a retracement, we had sweeps, we had an SMT, we had respect on the higher time frame, narrative where price came into this higher time frame PDRA as well as London sweeping out, and we had higher time frame SMT. So there was just stacks on stacks on stacks of confluences, and I think today went very well. I am taking things very slow. I do feel like because I'm only sitting at 1,000 right now, and I've just been trading as if I was trading on an XFA or a funded account. Because realistically, all these people tell you, oh, you need to pass your eval fast, how to pass it faster, blah, 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 get to the next level of funded. I've been funded multiple times, and I've yet to get a payout, but every time I was funded, there was this limiting belief or thought in my head that was like, what you tell yourself on eval is it's not real money, it's fake, it's, you're not making anything. And that goes the same way with the funded, because it is simulated funds. But when you are funded, it is like you have the ability to make money. And if I just keep the same mindset of trading the same system, the same way I would trade on a funded, it would carry over from my eval to my funded, and I will be able to trade a lot smarter, a lot level-headed, instead of having this scarcity mindset, this fear that is in me to not enter trades or be scared to enter trades, et cetera, just to have fear in the market. And that fear comes from the idea of, this isn't real money, that this doesn't matter, like it's an eval, So if I get rid of that whole idea of thinking altogether, trade the same way, because if it's almost like back trading on like paper trading, an eval, but it's a test. So what I'm trying to say here is, I am really just trying to trade the same way I would trade on a funded or on a live account, et cetera, because the whole idea of me is building this data, this skill that I'm able to just operate on the back end unconsciously and just see my setup unconsciously on the back end without me having to really think or, hesitate, but to react when price is showing me my opportunity, my strategy, and a high probability. So that's why I've been taking a long time, because I'm trading low contracts. I could be trading on, just minis instead of micros. But like I said, I am just trying to build the skill. I don't care to get my funded account tomorrow or the next day. I care about building the skill that is going to end up helping me in the long run, and just being reliant on that skill in the long run, instead of, making a quick buck and then I fall into other issues within my trading that could have been avoided earlier. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do, kill two birds with one stone, learn the skill and get funded at the same time. So that's why, to me, it doesn't matter that I'm only making, $300 today. I'm only making, 700, last week or, before. But like I said, it's been a rough week. It's been a rough time. I would have been up a lot more on this account if I didn't lose these 2 days. And, that's just part of it. That's part of the statistic. So I am, just adjusting and trying to keep my psychology on track to be able to trade on a live account, be able to trade on a funded account, with no stress, with no fear, with no hesitation. And those are all things I've struggled with in the past and before on the fundeds that I had. And, I ended up blowing them because I had one trade left, because I saw setups that aligned to my strategy that I hesitated on and missed out. And then that probability of me, if I took a trade that I knew I had high probability in every single time, you're going to lose a couple, of course. But if the way to balance it out is by taking the winners and the losers. And I was really only taking the losing trades. So that is why I had blown those accounts. And I'm not going to make the same mistake again. So I'm trying to build a skill of taking the setup, the high probable setup every single time, instead of hesitating or being fearful of losing. Because if I have that fear while I'm funded, I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm gonna be in the same place I was before and stuck in the same cycle. But this is just me documenting my journey and showing y'all that this is done in real time. That if you want it that bad, if you have a dream and you want it that bad, that you can go after it. You just need to do everything in your power, everything that is at your disposal to make it happen. And some people aren't as fortunate as me, where I have all the equipment, the capital, the time, the opportunity, everything for me to be able to pursue this dream, to have supporting family, to have supporting friends, and everything is aligned just as perfectly as it needs to be, and everything is set in stone exactly how it needs to be for me to be successful and for me to pursue this goal and this dream of mine. And some people are not as fortunate as I am, and despite your circumstances or despite the circumstances I'm in, everybody's on their own journey. Everybody has dealt with this different set of cards, and you just got to find your way. And that is really what trading is about, is really just finding your own way, whether that's strategy, whether that's your psychology, or the way that you perceive the market. You need to find the way that works for you, the time you trade, what you trade, and how you trade. It's all based on you. You don't have to follow someone's strategy or someone else's strategy, but use theirs as a idea and take it as your own. The only way you're going to figure this out is not by copying someone else's strategy, not taking signals, but to interpret the market in the way that you understand. And that is the point I'm trying to get across. So, like I said, everybody's on their own journey. This is how my journey is going. I'm taking trades that are high probability for me, that are aligned with my strategy, that is aligned with the way that I perceive the market, and I execute accordingly the way that I intend to. Not because of someone else or how someone else is, but the way I intend to. So if you just go into the market with that mindset of interpreting the market your way, your own way, and trying to understand it through your eyes, not someone else's, you're going to get a lot farther than most people, because most people give up because they are just trying to understand the market in someone else's view, someone else's eyes, when everybody has their own perspective, everybody has their own opinion. And that is what trading is about. It is individual. It's like an individual sport. It's an individual job. Nobody trades the same. Nobody thinks the same. So how could you possibly copy someone else's strategy? How could you possibly copy the exact same trade that someone else is taking? Trade in your own way. Perceive it in your own way. And that is the message I have for y'all today, guys. It has been a long journey. I have been trading for a little less than a year now. And, I don't have any payouts to show for it. But regardless of the tangible items and the money, I have learned a lot about myself. I have learned a lot about the market, my strategy, and the way that I trade and think. And to me, that is more important than making X amount of money or seeing these tangible results, because I see the results within myself and how I've developed this mindset. And I feel that if I carry this on and keep progressing within my mind and within myself, it's only a matter of time before the money will catch up, that the universe will catch up with me. And that result that everybody's seeking, the result that, of course I am seeking as well, will come at an unexpected moment that isn't planned. So just remember, guys, everybody's on their own journey. Everybody has their own view, perspective, and opinion. Everybody has their own way of trading. So regardless if someone's strategy is is support and resistance, order flow, supply and demand, whatever. If it works for them, there's no reason to hate. If it doesn't work for you, that doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. Everybody has their own perspective. And some people can have similar perspectives, and that's why some people have similar strategies. But that doesn't mean it's wrong. So find what works for you and what doesn't. It's all trial and error. So anyways, guys, it's been real. It's been good. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.